All right, Shalom, Shalom. I'd like to say all praises due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to you, brothers, teaching in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe. And it's Tada Yah from the UTC 144K camp. All right, coming back once again. And just want to speak on this whole thing with AI getting intertwined in the government, so to speak, and where it's moving to. All right. I just finished watching a couple of videos by Wendy Webb. Actually breaks it down, and it's this one company called Plantera, if I'm saying it right, right? And what they're proposing to do with the government, all right, is it's a company that makes or that studies predictions of AI. All right, so this technocracy is going to be furthered. All right, it's not a republic, it's not a democracy, it's a technocracy. All right, and you hear data forms being built up. You hear of you know, biometrics being placed everywhere. All right, and this is the company that's going to monitor that, along with several other little entities. You know, that's supposed to grow within time. I wish I could play the video, but you know, nowadays, if you try to play a video, you know what happens. They strike your page. Okay. Let's see. And this is not for payment of any sort, monetization. Okay. This is just fair use, fair use. Just to hit a couple of points. Okay.
To these big tech figures, whether it's Elon Musk or figures that are, also part of the so-called PayPal mafia, David Sachs being the crypto NAA czar, for example, and someone like JD Vance having relatively close proximity to Peter Thiel, someone at a top HHS position, Jim O'Neill, also very close to Peter Thiel, who has, I would argue, wildly different views than Robert F. Kennedy, who's supposed to lead HHS, especially in terms of deregulation, biotech, and mRNA technology. What are these things ultimately going to result in? And I would consider people to consider those connections, and also consider that there's a high likelihood, just like in the first term, that there will be a lot of, deregulation over the next 4 years. And I'm sure a lot of people will be happy about that, but I think some people that voted for Trump may not be, particularly in the Make America Healthy Again movement, where deregulation at the FDA, for example, could result in a flooding of the market with mRNA products.
How to kill all mosquitoes in the area in just minutes. This simple
flooding of the market with mRNA products, which are very controversial with a significant segment of Trump's base, for example. Or when Trump was in office the first time, he deregulated biotech and agriculture pretty significantly. A lot of people in that same Make America Healthy Again movement are not really into, a proliferation of GMO crops in the food supply, for example. I think a lot has been said about, people have probably noticed Palantir stock performance. I think it's very likely that over the next 4 years, Palantir will become an even more important government contractor, considering that a lot of people that are prominent Palantir investors or co-founders have attached themselves in various ways, either to the Trump campaign as donors or occupying important posts in the administration. So Palantir, again, is sort of the engine that a lot of the surveillance state really runs on, and I think people should really educate the.
So, like I said, it's a technocracy. It's a surveillance state. That's what they're getting ready to produce. Okay. But going into, the whole thing with, Esau wanting to be omnipotent. All right. He wants to be like the Most High. All right. And this is one of the ways that he's willing to go about doing so. All right. And this is going to leak into other things as well. You know, you've seen her talking about agriculture. You've seen her talking about just being conformed or joined with the government. All right. And that's very, very dangerous. You know, let's hear some more about the little companies that's going to come in and join.
About it, especially as it relates to predictive policing and predictive health and predicting pandemics before it happens, and all of that is concerning to you. And I think it's likely that there's going to be an increase in biometric digital ID. Trump has sort of marketed this as a way to stop mass migration. The dialectics are different, but it's sort of a policy that's being marketed all over the world. Depending on the country, the sales pitch is different, but ultimately that policy is being marketed, and in the push into digital assets, I think, is also happening globally. And I think Trump made it very clear that he was going to be very focused on that, and I don't think there's any reason to doubt that particular promise. I personally am of the view that there are oligarchs that are interested in king-making markets. I think that's particularly true of someone like David Sachs, who's going to be the crypto AI czar and doesn't have to divest from any of his investments or other potential conflicts of interest with some of the firms that he'll be involved in overseeing or deciding regulation on. And when you have that type of power, you can easily king-make and pick and choose companies that you want to see win. And so you kind of have to wonder if this is really going to be a free market type of situation, as a lot of people would like it to be, because when you have that type of centralized power sort of deciding who wins and who doesn't, and having OpenAI and Oracle, for example, in this recent announcement, those are very big companies.
So OpenAI and Oracle, all right, those are companies that's going to be aligned with that Palantir, all right. What are you basically seeing? What you are seeing is the surveillance web being pulled out. All right, all these things are going to be connected with medical, economy, agriculture. Okay, what's that? Law enforcement. Okay, that's basically what they're getting ready to produce with this new world order. All right, and we know. Let's get scriptures, man, because that's about it. And then she was just like hopping around saying that, you know, a criminal in due time won't have time to commit the crime because of, you know, Palantir with their algorithm is going to be so on point that they can tell when a person is about to do something, just like the predictive programming of the movie Minority Report. Okay, with Tom Cruise. All right, and as we go further into, you know, Esau's mind, we know that his heart is deep. Let's get that. Slocky. Yeah, so let's start off with Psalms 64, and it reads, "O God, listen to my complaint, protect my life from my enemies' threats." All right, and this is what we're about to have to pray every day, and upon waking up. All right. It says, hide me from, and I'm reading the NLT. It says, hide me from the plots of this evil mob, from the gang of wrongdoers. They sharpen their tongues like swords and aim their bitter words like arrows. They shoot from ambush at the innocent, attacking subtly and fearlessly. All right. And you see that it's a thing that they're going to do, just like you see what's happening over there in LA. I'll probably do a video on that later, but there's some cruel intent behind what they got planned out. All right, with the deportation of said immigrants, which they're not immigrants, they're just, you know, Native Americans, if you want to use that term, or indigenous people. All right, of Central and South America. All right. going on. 5, they encourage each other to do evil and plan how to set their traps in secret. Who will ever notice? They ask. Okay, so all 3 of these companies getting put together is one of those moves. Okay, what they're trying to do is, like I said, put that technocracy net down. Okay, use it for a snare. All right. It says, as they plot their crimes, they say, who have devised the perfect plan. All right. Yes, the human heart and mind are cunning. You see, and this is the way they think. They think that they're gradualism. They think that they're, doing things in a very slow state, and they're springing out upon you all of a sudden is unseen. All right, but not by the hopeful elect. Okay, not by the men that were taught to view the scriptures as a clock. Okay, that's one way to view it. All right, and each brother's talent is different. I view it as a clock. When you start seeing certain things happening, when you start seeing certain moves happen, then you know that this man is getting ready to do some great wickedness, man. And Donald Trump keeps on saying it. He keeps on saying we got to prepare for a 9/11 event in this year. Okay, so we'll see. But going back to their future plot is just to have everybody going towards that MOTB, man. Okay, for all reasons: health, wealth, food, okay, and security. Okay, and anytime that they can flip the switch and make you out to be the bad guy, man. And that's what they plan on doing, because our dystopia is their utopia. Okay, but it's all a plot to go into the MOTB, man. And if you can't see that happening right now, then the gospel is hid to those that are lost, man. And that's what we see. A lot of lost individuals out there in them camps, out there in the world. All right. And a lot of these people are going to be ready and willing when that chip comes, man. All the family men, all the men, they got to keep their possessions. All the men that worry about their health on the line of tossing it behind, tossing the Lord behind and putting that first. All those men that do that, hey, trouble is going to come to you, man. Okay, that's why it's called the time of Jacob's trouble. And know if you lose anything, you're going to get back what's required by the hand of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai on the other side, man. Okay, so this is very important, man. But I just wanted to bring that out. I'll probably do more videos on Plantera, OpenAI, and what's the other one? The last one. I can't remember it. Short-term memory, But that's what's going down. All right. These devils are putting out their technocracy net. All right. And it's going to be predictive, so to speak. It's going to be predictive in a way of they're going to know before you do crimes. They're going to know when food shortages is coming. They're going to know all the bells and whistles, so to speak, on life, making them omnipotent. Okay, And the Lord is not having it. He's going to come back and he's going to do away with this wicked and evil construct that they got going on shortly. All right. He's going to lead a lot of men to death. And rightfully so. If you ready and willing. Okay. So with that, I want to say all praises due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kadash, and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to you, brothers, teaching in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe. Right? And another thing, you know, when the prophets are out there, all right, this is our job, man. One of my favorite. Ezekiel 21:9, it says, Son of man, prophesy and say, Thus said the Lord, say, a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son of every tree, and he hath given it to be furbished that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give it into the hand of the slayer. Okay? So with that comes terrible destruction, man, from Esau, Edom, right? Isaiah, the 10th chapter. All right? This is how he's coming to be the Lord's whipping stick in this point in time on earth. Okay? And we know it's not going to work because we got the scriptures. All right? So have faith, brothers. With that, I want to say shalom.